Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains episode summary discussion video. I am joined by Pete, as I was last month. Pete, how you doing, man?
Not bad. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for coming on, dude. And I did post a video yesterday on Saturday of me giving my initial thoughts to these summaries, but I kind of want to have a more in-depth discussion. You have not seen these summaries at all.
I've not seen them at all.
So these are going to be your first impressions, and hopefully you guys leave your thoughts now that we've had some time to process these summaries. I'm going to give some more detailed thoughts on my perspective from these summaries, and also we are going to discuss if we think this is going to be the end of the arc and how we think this arc is going to play out and end and kind of transition into season 3, just to add a little bit of flair to the video.
It should be exciting.
It should be.
What we did talk about before this, he texted me earlier today, and he goes, "Hey man, just make sure you don't look at the summary so we do that video later." And I told him just now, I was like, how would I even find the summaries? I don't have the connections you do, so there's no way I'm going to spoil this.
I forget that you guys aren't as engraved in the so that was kind
maybe
of
that's
funny.
Like commonplace amongst the community.
Well, I have DMC's
have
Twitters. It's one of the only Twitter accounts I have notifications for. So I get whenever he tweets, I get notifications right to my phone. But yeah, we're gonna begin. If you do not want spoilers, get off this video. I'm not sure why you would have clicked on it, but now is your chance to get off this video. 3, 2, 1. Let's get into it. So here is episode 98, an AI that has crossed the line. Lightning uses Jin as a hostage to rattle Revolver. However, Bowman, who is very disappointed in Lightning's actions, decides to step in. Now that his hostage-taking stratagem has failed, Lightning reveals a shocking truth about Kogami to Revolver. Ooh. So we're going to just peel it off like a Band-Aid. Episode 99, the door to the new world. Bearing the hopes and wishes of his allies, Playmaker faces off against Bowman. Meanwhile, something abnormal happens to the people who were trapped in VRains, and they start to, page turn, fall unconscious. Bowman then creates a powerful data storm and summons forth a terrifying monster. Episode 100, a twisted utopia. Bowman uses the consciousness of the people trapped in VRains to create a data storm and summons forth a powerful Hydra Drive monster. Playmaker is completely helpless before Bowman. Seeing this, the 3 Knights of Hanoi decide to take action. Episode 101, Faith in One's Instinct. Bowman set up something called a neuron link to use the consciousness of humans to create the data storm. The 3 knights, Akira and Ghost Girl, put their lives on the line in an effort to destroy this neuron link. They succeed, but Bowman then started repairing the neuron link right afterward, leaving Playmaker in despair, ... And that takes us through May 8th and through the next 5 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains. I know there's a lot to dissect.
That is a lot.
Holy
moly.
Initial thoughts.
I mean, I would say, you speculated before the video that I would say 101 seems like we're ending the arc right around now.
I'm not the only one that gets that vibe.
Like
right?
If it's not 101, it's got to be like 102, 103.
Yeah.
We're right.
This has to be the
end.
end.
Look at the stakes that are raising here. It has to be the end of the arc.
And I remember we had a conversation off camera, because we do talk about this off camera too. I mean, we really do speculate a lot. And I had said to you that maybe if Playmaker survives and Bowman escapes and the arc proceeds, who does he regroup with? Is it going to be him and Faust and Gnome and Vyra? And now they're even getting
they're
involved.
Literally involved.
And based on how 101 ends, it wouldn't surprise me if those 5 end up sacrificing themselves, and that's why Playmaker's in despair. Because now everyone is gone, and it's literally just him and his Ignis
that'd be sad.
versus everything. It would be.
Damn, that would suck.
I don't know what the neuron link is, but
what I don't like is that we have Revolver's name in episode 98, and then he's nowhere else. So that really concerns me of what happens to him.
Yeah.
And I just knew it. It's like, obviously the podcast has come out, right? So I could say my choice of who I picked.
Oh yeah. Me and you both picked Lightning.
Yeah. So I picked Lightning. I love Revolver. If you've been watching this, of course I want him to win. I just don't think he's going to because of Lightning's underhanded tactics. And they've been sticking with this theme where every time someone gets defeated, whether it was Blue Maiden or it was Soulburner, they say, "Playmaker, I leave the rest up to you." I totally think Revolver is going to say that. It just seems like a TV show line that is going to happen. So that's why I also think he's going to lose.
Yeah.
And just Lightning is Lightning.
Yeah.
Going forward, though, I don't know what happens.
That's why I love these summaries.
Lightning might step away or join into Bowman, or that it would be a 2-on-1 handicap against Playmaker, but then it seems like Bowman is stopping Lightning and being like, whoa, stop doing that. That's because he seems like he's not a man, he's an AI, obviously, but he's someone of honor. He wants to beat you fair and square, this new Bowman now.
Right.
So I respect that, but then where does that leave Lightning in this? Like, he reveals a shocking truth, and then I don't see anything else about him. It's just Bowman.
They both vanish. They both vanish. That's why it's so hard to predict.
Does
what's gonna
Bowman
happen.
absorb Lightning? Like, what the hell happens?
I don't know. I would assume he will absorb Lightning. I think that's.
I just don't see. There's no way Lightning willingly gives that up.
See, I don't know.
I just don't think he will.
I don't know.
I think Bowman is he's gonna trick him or force him. There's no way that is. You really think he would willingly give himself up after his secret just got revealed that he's the most broken AI? He's the runt of the litter.
Right, but becoming part of Bowman seizes that inferiority because now they're all even. They're all within this one vessel, and he's no longer going to feel inferior, which is why. And he created Bowman for this
purpose.
But
he has such a god complex.
He does.
Do you think he's going to give that up after? Like, if he beats Revolver, even underhanded tactic-wise, he's now beaten 3 heavy hitters.
Yeah.
So 2 heavy hitters, and right? No, it would just be Revolver.
Yeah,
but
Blood Shepherd.
So Blood Shepherd, yeah. He's not really. Him and Spectre not really heavy hitters.
All right.
I was counting them at first, and then I really thought
that's
about it.
fair.
Like,
all right, that's
Bowman's really the one beating the heavy hitters.
Yeah, Owie and Soulburner.
If he beats Revolver, underhanded or not, it's still an impressive win.
Absolutely.
So I feel like he'd be riding a high after that. I just don't see him then giving himself over. He's had this master plan for years. And that's it? Like, especially with the way Bowman's been going against him and disrespecting him, he's just going to be cool with that. I don't see that. I feel like he made Bowman to create all the Ignis in one place and keep them there, but he's still not part of that.
Maybe.
We still don't know how the Earth Ignis got there. We still have no idea how that happened.
Yeah, if that never gets explained,
which would be very weird.
Yeah.
But if it is, like we've said on other videos before, if it is the theory of he used Spectre,
right?
Let's say that is,
right?
Which it might be, because we had the theory. We had the theory that the line he crossed was using Spectre, right? That's what you and Nick T said, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. It seems like a Jin is that underhanded tactic.
Which that surprised me. That was probably the most surprising thing from these summaries.
Which then means, can't Jin, if that's how Spectre was used, if he was the one that, even the weak have their uses, that's how Earth got in there, he could use Jin to be the lightning supplement.
Right.
He doesn't need to be there, and he could still be, being evil and doing all that stuff.
Unless he got the data from Crystal Heart.
I guess.
But we don't know.
There's so many unanswered things. And Jin? Jin is the pawn? Like, Revolver, he doesn't have really a connection to Kusanagi, and especially Jin.
An emotional one.
And he already did Kusanagi a solid by making sure his body's safe. And that's the thing. I feel like Spectre would have such a more emotional impact.
I agree.
So that's fine. I'm not saying that it's bad. Like, it
could be executed really well.
It could be excellent. I just feel like it's a really odd choice. Don't you think?
Yeah, I definitely do not agree. Well, not that I don't agree with the choice, but it's not the one I would have made. I would have rather probably seen Spectre. And when I went over my initial thoughts, that was one thing that I really focused on, because it seemed like it was going to come full circle where, Spectre, weak have their uses, foreshadowed this moment, and then they go with Jin instead. So that kind of surprised me.
Especially, like, Kusanagi's not there anymore, so we don't get the reaction
from
of
Shoichi.
Using Jin as a pawn.
Right.
So, like,
it's very true.
Stinks too, that, like, we get robbed of those emotional moments now, where you can get all of those moments if you use Spectre out of Revolver. And we're talking about Revolver in a character that really doesn't show his emotions that much. And if he does, it's anger. Right. Or confidence. It's not
conviction.
Of, like, sadness and desperation.
Right.
You could have done that.
Even when his dad died, he didn't seem that
he was
he's
just looking over his dead body, allows Kusanagi and Yusaku just to walk up in the house, be like, I'm not a good guy. Like, the sunset is beautifully through the window. I'm like, bro, your dad just died. Like, what are we doing here?
I know, you're right.
So like, he's like someone who's very calculated.
Yeah.
This could have been a great thing. Like, we always complained about Playmaker, and, like, it was finally nice in episodes, 92, 93, that show some great emotion. Even these last few episodes of him, like, getting up and still having all the marks on him, watching Soulburner die. You could have done the same thing for Revolver.
Yeah.
And now we don't get that. And then, like, what is, I guess we could theory talk here, what's the shocking truth about Dr. Konami?
Yeah, that is a...
What is he doing here? What don't we know about him that we already knew?
You know, one thing that I kind of like, and a few people did comment it on the video that I did, the initial one, is that maybe the shocking truth is that there's a way to revive him or his conscious and he's not actually dead. I think that would be...
I think it's something we thought about before.
Yeah, and I hope they don't really go that route because I feel like Kogami can stay dead. That's fine. He was kind of an asshole.
Right, but what if Kogami, again, that theory comes back that he's the king chess piece? Right? If he's technically alive, maybe this is how Queen has stepped to power because...
And you know, right, that's another thing that I thought.
There's so many things that come out of this.
The way you can transition beautifully to Season 2 to Season 3 if Soltech are going to be the big baddies at the end of the season and ultimately the end of the show, assuming Season 3 is going to conclude things as we're probably in our final year here, that shocking truth... Revolver, I'll never forget one of the lines in Season 1 where he was talking to his dad, and he said to his dad, well, I can't believe Soltech infected you and threw you under the bus. Let's go after Soltech. And his dad, I think, said, no, you idiot. Or he said, no, that is time. No, don't be stupid. We can do that later. Right now, we have to stop the Ignis. That's the immediate threat. So even his dad recognized, like, yeah, we can take care of Soltech later. If this truth from Lightning somehow ties his dad further to the horrors of Soul Technologies, especially the uppers and the sins that Soltech have committed, that can transition beautifully into more motivation for Revolver and the others to go after Soul Technologies.
Do you think that this shocking truth, right, to Revolver, obviously his dad kept something away from him. Is it something that creates a further, like schism between the two of them, where Revolver maybe... Remember, he's been doing a lot of this stuff because of what his dad instilled in him from the beginning, from kidnapping Yusaku and doing all that stuff, right?
Right.
What if this gives him the turn we've been looking for? Where, like, we've been saying, like, hey, they're teaming up right now, but they're really enemies, right? That we've been saying that through this whole arc. What if this puts him, assuming all these people die and then come back to life, which they probably will.
Yeah.
But what if this puts him permanently on Playmaker's team to fight Soltech? Because his dad is not who he thought he was, whatever the secret is. And now he doesn't feel like he should walk his dad's path in his footsteps anymore. He realizes maybe a lot of this has been a lie. The Ignis are bad in some ways. He wasn't wrong about that.
No.
But maybe the things my dad has been instilling in me were completely wrong.
Well,
and that I need to be my own man and take my own path and grow into the adult that I need to be for me.
Yeah, I like that a lot, and I think we're already kind of seeing hints and foreshadows of that, because up until this point, Dr. Kogami instilled the theory, and Revolver, instilled the theory to us that all the Ignis were bad, right? All the Ignis needed to be destroyed. The Ignis will lead to humanity's downfall. Now Revolver has uncovered the actual truth. Not all of the Ignis are bad.
It's one of them, really.
It's just one of them. Yeah. It's one Ignis who's pure evil, as he described it. So,
and he turned one of them. He turned Windy.
Exactly.
So
most likely.
Yeah,
most likely.
But we do know in that one of the shocking reveals of the episode is Windy could have had an existence with his partner and been completely good with humanity. Lightning corrupted that.
He corrupted him to the point where he drove a car into this
and was happy about it.
Yeah,
and is bragging about it all that time later.
That is freaking nuts.
Like, he in the Soul Burner duel, right, kept saying to Flame, partners hold you back. Look, blah, 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 right? He didn't, as Flame said, you were not always like this. He didn't always think that.
You're right.
So, what are the things Lightning said that made him start thinking that?
It just goes to show how convincing and manipulative words can be. Words are the greatest weapon of humans, in my opinion. If you can speak convincingly and with conviction and with persuasion, you can almost convince anyone to do anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, you see how these, I don't want to get political, but some leaders have gotten into power. And it's almost very similar how Lightning got into power and he was able to become the leader of the Ignis by his words, by his vocals.
And I think, I don't know if they're intending this, and obviously we're just speculating, but they could create a nice duality here where Lightning corrupted someone like Windy and stuff like that. We've seen what he's done, right? And words are powerful. That truth right there, if Dr. Kogami, like, it could be the same thing that he did to Revolver. He could be the other side of the coin, where he might be bad too, and his words corrupted his own son. Like, so you could play with some nice duality there, where maybe the Doctor and Lightning are they're the real two evil people that put all these other people in a war, and most of them, Lightning obviously is involved, most of the other people are fighting the war for them.
Yeah, both of them had like selfish reasons for it, and they instilled. Yeah, I think that's a very interesting comparison. Like Windy is to Lightning, maybe what Revolver is to Kogami to a degree.
It's totally possible. I don't know if that's what they're intending or how it'll work out, but it's possible.
It's interesting. These next 2 episodes between these 2 characters are going to be amazing. It's a 3-parter, which we have not gotten a 3-part duel all season, I believe.
No,
this is the first one this season. I think the last one was probably like Revolver Playmaker at the end of season 2.
Which was great.
And we're getting back-to-back 3-part duels because then we haven't even started talking about the next duel.
No, we got to get into that.
Yeah, so Bowman Playmaker, round 4. But it's really round 2 if you look at it from the perspective of when Bowman was fully completed. Yeah. And since he's been fully completed, he's run roughshod through practically everyone. What are your thoughts on this matchup and what the summaries seem to be insinuating with everything?
I like it a lot. Mm-hmm. As we've talked before, and probably people know, well documented, at least from you, we weren't really digging Bowman. And I saw you say that on the podcast, on Saturday, of like, he was pretty flat character for me. And I think you feel the same way when he was introduced.
First 30 episodes, yeah.
You never knew what was real, what wasn't. He's some angry dude. Is he a human? Is he AI? Then he thinks
he's Yusaku.
He's Yusaku. Like it was a very weird thing. Like I thought Haru would be way more like important in the story. Then they kill him off in episode 84 or something like that, 85.
The first duel of this final,
just dead 1 episode duel against Aoi.
Disrespect to both of their characters to a degree.
I would say so. Like if anything, it boosts Aoi's character that she's that good that she could just wipe him. But for him, like he had a little bit of development really in like the episode or 2 before that, where he's talking to Bowman as he's synchronizing with the Mirrorlink Reigns.
Right.
And that was it. Like before that, there was like 20 episodes where we never heard a single thing from him.
I know.
And to have Lightning just have like a throwaway of line of like, yeah, basically you outlived your use. Like now that Bowman has his emotions controlled, we don't need you.
Yeah. Do you think I have a chance against Blue Maiden?
Nah, you're just there to stall time. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You just need to buy time.
Even though he's an AI and he's evil, I felt so bad for that kid.
I felt bad for him too.
Like I just really did.
I felt bad for him too. I feel like under different circumstances, him and Bowman could have lived a peaceful life with humans.
But they've been corrupted too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And now let's not mince words. Bowman is a full-on villain. So let's not give him
right.
He's a full-on villain.
You're right.
He might be a respectful villain, which is sometimes the best villains.
Yeah.
But he's a villain who clearly wants to take over the world. Told Soulburner, hey, you're an honorable person, but there's no place for you in my future world.
Say that.
Okay, like, all right, buddy, like, relax here.
Did say that.
So now, seeing the character he is, seeing the tank he's become.
Yeah.
In some ways, you can argue OP. I'm not obviously as familiar with the card game, but he seems pretty OP with his Atlas monster and stuff like that. But I like that because he seems like a legitimate challenge to Yusaku. Not that like Revolver wasn't, but like this seems like it's a legitimate thing. So now round 4 with his vampire like theme music and everything, like it's very, which I love. It's great music, by the way. Mm-hmm. It's now I'm actually interested in it. When I first like, if you asked me 20 episodes ago, hey, you ready for Bowman Yusaku 4? I would have been like, no.
I would have been like, God, no.
Please, no.
Mistake. That is a mistake.
And like now it's a 3-episode duel, and I'm like, he steps in, stops Lightning with the whole Jin Revolver thing. Who knows how that goes?
Right.
And then starts apparently further showing his power in the Link VRains and the Mirror Link VRains. He's hinted at
this the last 2 duels, by the way.
And he has showed it off by disrupting it. Now he's going to straight up take people's consciousness. So like people like Kusanagi, we see that in the real world, he's the only one whose body we've seen in the real world.
Yeah.
We don't know where Aoi's body is. We don't know where, Hamura's body is.
Yusaku's.
We have no idea. Yeah, but at least he's still kicking it.
Right, okay.
Like, we don't know where the people who lost, where their consciousness is gone, where's their body.
Right,
we only know that about Kusanagi.
Yeah, that's true.
We have seen in the Link VRains where Akira tried to shut it down and Bowman was like, jokes. And like he knew he was there and was not letting us shut it down. We know people have been freaking out and been getting affected by it. Well, how about all those people in there that are trapped? We're just going to take all your consciousness, and I'm going to use it for some neuron link thing and show really how powerful and in sync I am with the net. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts.
I'm so excited to see it.
And it's so much so that we get a couple episodes later that ridiculous. Akira, Emma, and the 3 knights all have to get involved and probably die.
Yeah. I think one of the best lines, and we talked about this, I know, off camera, and I didn't even mention it in my review or the podcast, one of the best lines is when Faust just looks at the duel between Revolver and Lightning and he goes, it's time we have to pay for our sins. Or he says something along those lines. It's time we reap our sins. An amazing line, because even though Kogami, I don't think ever showed guilt, and maybe Gnome hasn't either, to be fair. Gnome's kind of a weird, he's a strange dude.
He's cool, though.
No, I like him. He's a strange dude, though. Vyra and Faust have shown guilt, especially Vyra. I mean, you even saw her wincing during the experiment. I mean, they knew what they were doing was messed up.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you have this thing where it's called, survivor's guilt. It's real, and guilt is a horrible emotion to live with. So I think from their perspective, and maybe Akira's perspective too, because, and Emma's lost her brother. She lost who was becoming her best friend in Aoi, and Akira lost his younger sister. I think all 5 of these characters, to a degree, won't mind sacrificing themselves.
And I also feel
if
like
it's for the better of the world.
I think it's a situation where, is it better to die and try, or the whole time as this horrible event's going on, go, oh, where were you? Oh, I sat on the sidelines and watched.
Watched from a hot dog truck.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to almost get involved, especially if the 3 knights here are going to watch maybe Revolver die.
Mm-hmm.
This is the person, almost like a religious cult figure, that they've put years of their life into.
I would say Vyra and Faust are almost like parent figures for Revolver. Yeah.
And they've put years of their life into following his teachings, following Dr. Kogami's teachings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you watch him die, and you're just going to be like, peace, bro, I'm logging out. Like, of course you're going to go in there and do something when the world potentially is at risk. Bowman is a serious global threat, seemingly.
He's a world threat, yeah.
And your mission was to take down Ignis. Well, here's a guy with potentially 6 Ignis in him.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to go after him, right?
Right.
Everyone was joking on the podcast, and I completely agree. He's kind of like this universe version of Thanos.
I've seen some people,
6 stones, 6 Ignis.
Yeah.
Those are like different parts of the universe.
He
this
looks
is
huge.
different elements.
Yeah.
He's the big guy, the it's like the same
It's
thing.
almost like they made a reference to that.
They might have.
They honestly, maybe.
It didn't even have to take the movie. Thanos has been a character for 40 years or so in comics.
Absolutely.
So they could have done that.
Yeah, they could have.
But if they sacrifice themselves and everyone dies, right? And it's just Yusaku and I left. Well, actually, let's assume I dies as well somehow.
Okay.
And he goes into Bowman, so all 6 of them are there.
Okay.
And it's literally just Playmaker against Bowman after everyone is dead, including his own partner.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a chance for incredible character development.
Oh, yeah, it has to be. Well,
Talk about the ultimate survivor's guilt. We've seen the emotions he went through when he watched Hamura die, right? That affected him.
Mm-hmm.
He got up when I is asking him, like, Playmaker, you sure you can walk? And he's like, I have to go on for everybody else. He watched, Aoi and all this stuff. He's not, well, he knows she's dead now, but he's not going to have incredible guilt on him and realize I am literally the last hope. Kusanagi died, so I can do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, everyone is relying on me.
Absolutely.
That could be potential for some awesome development.
Yeah. Man, and just thinking about, because he's probably going to win. I mean, early prediction, I'd say he's going to win. I don't see how he loses and the world doesn't get destroyed. I don't see how he loses,
but if there's a way that the world doesn't get destroyed, but Bowman wins, and somehow that ties into the 3rd arc, and it's the whole 3rd arc is about Playmaker building himself back up to win against Soltec and Bowman.
Yeah,
I would like that.
Oh, I'd love that.
I think that'd be actually, if you were going to give him one loss.
Yeah.
This is because you have a whole redemption arc through the last season,
and it would be shocking. Every single person would be shocked.
Your
if Playmaker
jaw
ever
would be
loses.
dropped.
Oh, yeah. Because we have to live react to the end of Revolver and Lightning and to the end of Bowman Playmaker.
Oh, we
have to live react to that.
Even though probably it's going to get blocked.
That's fine. if you got to be watching in the first 24 hours. But I'm so excited for these duels. I really am. And just to touch on, this has to be the end of the season.
It has to be.
And
there's no way.
I imagine mid-April, like April 17th, we're going to get some sort of announcement that the new season's
starting. Where do you go from here, right?
Yeah.
Unless after episode 101, it's continuing this Bowman thing, right? Where it's like another episode of them dueling.
Right.
Where do you go from here? There has to be a conclusion.
Yeah.
It's like seasons have ebbs and flows. You cannot keep building it up and not have a cutoff point at some point. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just feel like there has to be somewhere where you stop our adrenaline.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you have to start again, calm things down, build up a new arc, maybe a new villain, maybe a similar villain, but there needs to be an end. And that's why him losing would be perfect. What a shocking thing. And also just what a way for him to build as a character, to figure out himself and go, okay, how do I get better? I'm not this all amazing playmaker all the time who wins literally everything. I'm someone that I need to work on my craft. I have someone who beat me outright.
I'm just someone who I'm worried at this point that we are so deep into this arc.
I don't think he's going to lose. I'm just saying I think
that would be good.
Great
I agree.
storytelling.
I think losses are just as important as wins. Now, wins and losses are not everything, but if you lose, I've said it a lot of times, if you lose every duel or you win every duel, that is not a good thing.
Right.
It's just not.
And it's just this is the time that he could lose. Like
I
want
either
him
this
to lose,
or early in season 3.
Right. I wanted him to lose against Kusanagi, right? Because that made sense. But all right, for the story, if we're building up this, fine. But that would be awesome. He has everything riding on him, and he lost, and now he has to figure out, hey, how do I get my friends back and save their lives? How do I fight again? Or, as you theorized, what if he wins here, fights Queen early on in season 3, she wipes the floor.
Would love that.
And now that's his redemption arc.
Yes.
So either one of those works, but I feel like in 150 episodes, we're assuming, he has to have one loss.
If
he
doesn't,
there
it'll be
has
a
to be
shame.
some pushback, some step backwards for him to build his character.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're OP at that point, or as people say, like you're a Mary Sue, right? It's usually a female character that could do no wrong, right? And we won't get into things like that. But it applies to male characters as well. Your hero has to have some trials and tribulation to build as a character.
I agree.
It has to happen.
And through losing, that's a great way to get some character development.
Don't give me the BS that he went through that stuff because all his friends died. Okay, that affects him obviously, and we might see emotions that we've never seen.
And we've gotten that
it's
from the
not
Kusanagi.
Him personally,
right?
He needs that.
I agree. I think most people would agree. I agree. That's the one thing that I'd say has been a little disappointing with the show, that he's just been so unstoppable. And hopefully he does lose for the character, for his character development, because I think that's the one thing that his character's missing. Because then you can't say as a criticism, oh, he's invincible, he's undefeated.
No, exactly.
You can't. That's not a criticism anymore. So hopefully he does. But Pete, thank you for joining me, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
No
I'm
problem,
wondering what neuron links are and everything else.
Please leave all your thoughts down below. This was a very in-depth discussion. If we get the big batches like this and you guys enjoy these kind of videos, we would love to do more in-depth discussions like this. Probably going to be a pretty long video, so please leave your thoughts on this down below and anything that we said, things you'd like to see, how you would like to see Season 2 transition into Season 3. Really excited to hear from all of you. A special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons, Lexa Baker, Glen McGookin, Jorge Carrillo, James Rose, Samuel Stark, Thomas Adderley, Horace Maye, Goosey Q, and Vincent Van Der Veen. It's a new month, so I have to readjust. It might be Vincent Van Der Veer. I apologize. I will get that right. And do my Diamond tier patron, Jesse Wood, and do my Egyptian God tier patron, Syn Cloud and Chris Swan. A huge thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon. Cannot tell you how much it helps me out and helps out the channel. Pete, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed.
He runs the Clueless Gamers channel. I will link it down below. Definitely check him out, show him some love, and leave all your thoughts down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I will talk to you in the comments down below, and I hope you have an amazing day.
See you guys.
Thank you, guys.